Okay, so hello and welcome to the podcast. So, in honor of doing new things in 2025, today I've got an amazing guest with me. This is Ray, founder of Whitetail Forestry, and a client I've had the honor of working with for the last 9-ish months. So, basically, he's been building something pretty special. Serving southern Wisconsin with pretty amazing land clearing services. So, this is just going to be a laid back chat about his business journey, getting this business going, and kind of the ups and downs there. We'll talk marketing, Facebook ads, and how he's crushing it with leads and building that customer base. We'll also just dive into some real talk about challenges and lessons learned and advice for other local business owners looking to grow their business. So, in the name of that, let's jump right into it. So, Ray, thank you for being here. And we can just dive right in. So, what inspired you to start Whitetail Forestry in the first place?
Well, I think just I'm generally an outdoors person, and I started a firewood business probably 15 years ago, and that felt good. We did pretty good on it. We were got rather large. It took a lot of years, but I think between that, just the outdoors, the firewood business, and just the challenge of businesses, I just want to start something new. And then we jumped into forestry, and I absolutely love it. I'm in the woods a lot, and that's where I like to be.
Absolutely. I love that. Now, wasn't your initial idea for it to be called like One Man in a Truck or something like that? And you were going to have something a little tighter, a little smaller, and then it shifted into being a full forestry business, right?
Oh, that's funny. You remember that.
I do remember
You and I talked that over. Yeah, we started out as a crazy name, and then finally, after we sat and talked for a little bit, we ended up with Whitetail Forestry, and I absolutely love the name. It's who we are, and the name represents as well.
Awesome. Love that. So, thinking back to that era when you were just getting started, now you weren't new to entrepreneurship or to business, but this is a pretty big shift from your prior experience with a firewood company. So, what do you think was kind of the biggest challenge here when you first started the forestry business?
Just I knew the forestry work, how to do it, but just jumping into the business, knowing what equipment to buy, equipment's expensive, and making that big investment. And then really in a small business, you don't have a lot of time to clown around and not have income coming in. So that was a challenge. I knew I needed money rolling in. And so that was the challenge to get the money rolling in.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, so when was the moment when you realized, okay, this is really working?
I think after you started running ads, I don't think, I know. And then we got the first lead. And I'll remember that day for the rest of my life because I remember you texted me and told me I had a lead. To give a little bit backstory here, that um, you start marketing for me, and we set up the time, got everything squared away, and I kind of forgot about went back to my business of just trying to get everything working. And so I really wasn't watching for leads and stuff. So, but you texted me, said, "Hey, you got a first lead." So I checked it out. Sure enough, I had a first lead. And I don't know if you remember right, but that was actually a nice job and we nailed it. And then I kind of wasn't really into this Facebook thing yet, just kind of say, okay, we got pretty lucky that first time. And then you text me a couple of days later, says, "Hey, you realize you got your second lead?" I go, "Whoa, I better start watching this." And we got our second lead. I'm not sure if we got that job. I think we did. Um, but then I realized after that second lead, I thought, oh, there's something to this. I need to start watching my emails and realize this. And then all of a sudden, you kind of handed it over to me. You didn't have to text and remind me. The leads started popping up, and there we went.
Yeah, I love that. Awesome. So, speaking of leads, you've been generating a lot of leads over the last 9 months, especially during the summer months when you were really crazy busy. So, as a business owner, we know it's a challenge to handle current customers, current jobs, keep your business organized and going, and also have a good system to follow up with leads. So, I wanted to just pick your brain on what's been your approach with following up with these leads.
Okay, so I try to keep things real simple. Like for you, my marketer, you get me the lead, and then you've done your job. Then it's all on me to follow up, and then we just go to the customer and we look at his job. And the key thing too is to quality work. I can't get these leads and then go out and do a shabby job on it. So quality work. And then eventually the leads were coming in, the jobs were getting done. We were getting nice reviews on Facebook. And all of a sudden things really started to take off. So I would say marketing was key. My end was just kind of organize things. And then I got an awesome operator. He went out and performed.
Awesome. Love that. So we know that you have about a 75% close rate for these leads. So for anyone listening, that's well above average for local businesses to close that many of the leads, especially since they're cold and coming in through paid ads. So do you have any advice for anyone else running a local business on closing leads? What's kind of your approach for turning them in from a cold lead into a paying customer? Do you have any advice there?
Right. So really just being honest, upright, go look at their job, tell them what you can do for it, really kind of listen to what their vision is and go and do the job to their vision the best of our ability and stuff. So really the personal contact and just I have a love for a woods. I think people kind of see that when I see the project and stuff. So I think that connection of me knowing forestry and just working with the people, and that's kind of what's made it click.
Absolutely. Plus, I know you're very good at following up quickly. For anyone listening, when you're running Facebook ads, you often get leads like at night when people are scrolling on their phone. And I know Ray is really good because we've talked about this. This is important. He's really good at calling them up, like actually quite early in the morning. And that's how he gets a hold of a lot of them, because he doesn't delay calling them. Really speaks volumes to your leads when you have the business follow up right away, very communicative, all that good stuff. So, and that's really a huge part of what makes you successful with paid ads. And I mean, you in general and you, Ray, this is like you've really been pulling your weight and doing your part to make this as successful as it has been. So, like I always say, paid ads are amazing, but they aren't magic. So it does take work and it does take good systems in place to make sure you're taking people all the way from leads to actually like cash in your pocket. So, and Ray does that really brilliantly for sure. Okay, so on that note, let's talk about customer service. So we know you have a ton of very happy customers out there, so you're clearly doing something right. So in the sea of amazing reviews that you've had, you did have an experience this last week where you were chatting with someone who is maybe going to give you a less than perfect review. So I'm curious if we can just have an open conversation and chat about this. How did you handle that from a customer service perspective?
Yeah, that was interesting. And we sent the guy an email. I think we sent his invoice, thanked him, glad he liked the job because my operator said he loved the job. And then I got email back. He goes, yes, Doug, your operator did great. He did this great. But then he said, but I have it was a big root ball that needed to come out of the creek from a tree. And he goes, this is unacceptable. I mean, when I hear the word unacceptable, it hits way down in the business soul. So I right away got on the phone with the guy. And for me, I erased all emotions. All I want to hear, what's the problem? And he told me, and it sounded kind of simple. And he goes, hey, you left the ground a little rougher than I thought. I want some dirt put down. Well, and I'm thinking to myself, well, we really don't do the dirt. But I thought, I'm going to go talk to this guy in person. So we met the next day, got up there, and I kind of perceived that he was going to be kind of rough on me. He's actually a really, really nice guy. He showed me what he had. It was very simple. We're going to go in there next week, and we're going to kill it. We're going to get the problem taken care of. We don't spread dirt, but we're going to spread dirt. The guy needs 4 loads spread. We're going up there, and we're going to spread the dirt for him. And this is going to turn out good. So the lesson learned, when there's a problem of any sort, jump on it right away. Don't put it off, because these people, that's a problem for them. But I almost guarantee when we're done with this, it's a 5-star Google review. I almost guarantee it.
Absolutely. I love that. And that's what really pays off in the long run. This is something I always share with my clients is the money you invest in your paid ads and the customers that you get out of that. We always calculate the return on investment based on that revenue coming from the closed leads from the ads, right? However, when you think a step down the road from that, if you really are doing a great job with your customers and you're leaving people happy, if you have any sort of business model where people could use your services again, it's absolutely going to pay off into the future. So just thinking about how far this ad spend goes. So you're already having, customers that came from the ads come back to you 2 and 3 times and even refer you to other people. So that's another thing I always like to bring up is that ads really just are an entry point for new leads and new business to come in the door, and it's going to blossom and flow from there. So it's always important to take that like bird's eye view on all of that. So let's talk specifically about Facebook ads, because when we first connected, and you've had a long history with business, but you've never really done digital marketing before. So I know when you first started Whitetail Forestry, the first thing you did actually was to look into getting a billboard, which is great. And then we ended up kind of shifting gears and you decided to test out Facebook ads, even though you really kind of didn't know what it was, what you were getting yourself into, but you knew there's this digital marketing thing out there and you wanted to have a piece of that pie too. So can you tell us a little bit about the experience of when you were looking into a billboard, how much did that cost? And then what made you feel open to trying digital marketing?
Right. So in my old business, we did this is definitely old school. We did newspaper ads, all that. That's kind of how we got it. And it actually grew. And then, when we started Whitetail Forestry, right away, I want to upgrade. Say, okay, we got to get away from this local ads. So we'll put up a billboard. And I have the land. I could put it up. And they started talking crazy numbers. It started out at 10,000. I went to 20,000. I went to 30,000. That's when I said, wait a minute now. Is this really going to be? And I talked to you. You were very kind. Or you didn't say these words, but I felt like you were saying, hey, ride the dinosaur if you want, or jump on the racehorse. And one thing I found out, and you kind of touched on this, it's that billboards almost have a lifespan and eventually it just dies out. Where I found out in digital marketing, it just keeps getting better and better, and it don't necessarily slow down. And in ours, what I like too, I think we started out at like 100-mile range, and then kind of things, slowed down slightly, and I say slightly. Then we went out a little further, and things have. So digital ads, no ifs, ands, or buts. I wouldn't even want to think where my business would be without Facebook ads. I wouldn't even want to think about it. We wouldn't be talking, that's for sure. It would be in a rough shape.
That's awesome. So how did it feel when you were on the brink of investing money into digital marketing, knowing that it's a thing you didn't have like 100% certainty that it was going to work out for you? What was your mindset at the time? How do you feel about investing in your business, risk taking, all that sort of stuff?
Right. So it's all about money. When you're starting a business, you're starting a small business, it's investment. We invest a lot of money in our equipment and stuff. So I kind of, in my mind, I thought, okay, I'm going to give Holly 3 months in my mind. I mean, we'll just evaluate where we're at. I mean, if we're at 0, then, okay, this stuff isn't going to work. And if we're all right, we'll go 6 months. Is kind of where my mindset was. But I wasn't into this a month. And I knew I hit pay dirt. I knew we were good. So I'm just in, and I was just kind of, the whole marketing thing. As a businessman, I wake up every morning and I see what's rising to the top of my mind in the business. The other day, it's just some customers aren't paying in time. Last week, my equipment was giving me a hard time. But one thing I can honestly say, my ads with you, I have never woke up in the morning saying, hey, my marketing just isn't working. I've never woke up in the morning. It isn't even on the top 10 list. And I can say Facebook ads that you've done for me, I've never not had a job. Every day since we've started this business, my guys have been employed, and we're booked out now at least 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure we're going to be up to 3-4 weeks soon. Digital ads have kept me booked out solidly 4 weeks all year. It's slowed down a little now. I think the holidays kind of threw us off, but I actually feel it picking back up again. So yeah, digital ads it's where it's at.
Awesome. I'm doing a happy dance over here for you. It's been really, really fun to see your business grow so quickly. So I was going to bring up something here is when you have a business and you're selling high ticket services, trying digital ads is a no-brainer. And that's just something I always want to share with people. And it's something that we talked about in the beginning. When your services are, multiple thousands of dollars and you have the opportunity to get leads for, 50, $75, it's really kind of a no-brainer. So I just share this because I know it can be intimidating if you've never invested in digital ads for the first time. You're kind of worried that it's going to end up being a leaky bucket. You're going to light your money on fire. But you're in such a good position, especially when you're selling high ticket services. And definitely a lot of land clearing business owners don't really consider Facebook ads in the mix, and they definitely really should. So, I remember that first lead that came in, the one that you mentioned earlier. I believe you did convert that into, it was a pretty big job. I think it was one of your first leads. It was like a $40,000 job or something like that.
Yes, it ended up being 39,000, and it was a big job. It was kind of surprising. The first job we got was that, and kind of why it's on my mind as a business guy. You're always looking at your costs, at what it costs, and I kind of glanced at mine the other day. I mean, my labor is high, my fuel is high, and I expect that. But my digital marketing, I think it's like, if I remember right, it's like 5% of my bills going out a month. And my digital marketing is my life. I mean, if I took away digital marketing, it's a whole different world I'm living in. So I'm actually not investing a whole lot in my advertising and really, really getting the bang for my buck out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So it fluctuates a bit, but in general, we're hitting around a 32 times return on ad spend. It's amazing. And for context, we had him start out at just spending $800 a month, which when you've already invested, hundreds of thousands in equipment, an $800 a month bill that's bringing in new customers is kind of a no-brainer. And so we've, slowly been moving up the budget as you've had the capacity to take more jobs. And then looking into the summer, we're absolutely going to crank up the heat on all of this because it's working so very well for you. So this is truly an amazing example of how powerful Facebook ads can be. So Ray started this business absolutely brand new from scratch, no reviews, no nothing. And really all of this growth has come from Facebook ads in the first year, which is crazy. So looking into the future, we haven't even done Google ads yet, by the way, which is going to be crazy. If there are any local business owners listening to this, they're going to be like, what? So we haven't even added that in yet. And that's something we're going to be doing in the next few months here. But all that to say, it can go a long, long way when you have some solid ads out there. You're great at following up with your leads. You have stellar customer service. You have happy customers. You have returning customers. You can go really, really fast if you have some little digital billboards online, representing your business. So awesome. Okay, so I wanted to ask you a couple of questions. So what would you say has been the most valuable part of our collaboration on this project?
There's actually been a few things. I think one, the personal touch, where you're really in touch with the business. Just from a businessman's perspective, when we started, and the very point, I know we touched on this, that you notified me when I had leads. But what's interesting as we go through, and we've been together 10 months or whatever now, is whenever the lead starts to slow down a little, you text me and say, hey, we need to do something. And then I let people stay in their own lane. You're in your lane. You do something, and the leads come smashing in. Like a couple of weeks ago, I kind of text you and say, hey, yeah, it looks like it's launched. And you go, yeah, I noticed that. And then right now, this morning, I'm sitting here trying to organize everything. I mean, the leads blew up on me again. So that has been valuable. I think way back, you started building our website, and then just the ads and stuff, and just the way you're really in tune with the business. So that's been a huge blessing for me.
Awesome. He's being paid to say that, by the way. It's complete bribery. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Right? Appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. So for any other business owners listening, what would you tell them about the importance of marketing?
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it took me a little bit to be sold, but I'm a investor, and when I see something good, I invest in it. So I would say you're going to have a budget. Local newspapers will get you local people. Billboards, the same people go by them every day. But marketing, definitely need to do marketing. You're going to reach a lot more people. Let's just face it, they don't even know you exist. And when you get that digital marketing, you can go out. And I know with you, Holly, we put it at, I think we started out at 50 miles, then we put it up to 100 miles out. I think now we might be up to 150 miles out that we're covering, just because we're growing as a business and can get out further and stuff. So yeah, you just got to do it. I mean, you're going to invest in your equipment, you're going to invest in your operator, you're going to invest all this money. You got to have money coming in. And the leads that come in through digital marketing is just like, in this nowadays, it's an absolute must. So I would highly suggest, and I know we all have budgets, but budget it out. I know we started out a smaller budget, but we've grown, and our business has grown through digital marketing. And this is where I really want the business owner to get it, that you're going to grow through it. I mean, I had one machine when I started with Holly. She had so much going on for me. I literally got nervous, and I ordered a second machine because I got to thinking, we're out 4 weeks. If I break down, we're in big trouble. So now I have 2 machines. So for me to go out and invest another 100,000, 120,000, just because of Holly, what she's doing for us advertising says a lot, and how much I believe in digital marketing. But I've also nailed a good marketer. I mean, in Holly, you're good. I know there's a lot of people. I get phone calls, I get emails, everybody trying to do this and that, and they may be good, they may not. I don't know. I just know with you, Holly, I landed on a good one, and I'm very thankful for that.
Thank you so much for saying that. I appreciate it. Okay, awesome. Well, I think that wraps up the questions that I had for you today. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
Pleasure.
It's totally been an honor to partner with you on your business growth over the last year-ish, and I'm super excited for year 2.
Yes.
We have some big plans, don't we?
All right, sounds good. I appreciate all you've done.